This video is on what is a linear equation. So I've highlighted the two words that I'm hoping you will know the meaning of by the end of this video. So the first word we're going to look at is equation. An equation has a certain look. It has to have a left-hand side and it has to have a right-hand side, and the left-hand side and the right-hand side are joined by an equal sign. So if you see those three things, it's a very good chance it is an equation. So an example of an equation might be something like 2x plus 1 equals 11. And if I highlight my left-hand side, that is everything to the left of my equal sign. So here is my equal sign. So if I highlight my equal sign, I can see that on the left of the equal sign is this circled yellow expression. That's my left-hand side. And then on the right of my equal sign, I have another expression, or in this case, just an integer, and that is called my right-hand side. So you must have a left-hand side, tick, you must have a right-hand side, tick, and they must be joined by an equal sign. And yes, they are. The left-hand side is joined to the right-hand side by this equal sign here. With an equation, you will be asked to solve an equation, not to simplify it, but to solve it. And solving an equation just means find the value of the pronumeral. So in this case, my pronumeral is my unknown, and that is called x. So what this equation says is 2 times some number called x plus 1 should be equal to 11. So if you're a clever cookie, you might be able to figure out what that x could be. You could even test out a few numbers. So if you thought it was 3, you might change the x to 3 and say 2 times 3 plus 1. Now, 2 3s are 6, 6 plus 1 is 7. That's not 11. So that's clearly wrong. You keep on trying, and hopefully eventually you would realize that x equals 5, because 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 equals 11, which is my right-hand side. So when we solve, what we would write is x equals 5. That is called the solution of the equation, the solution. All right, so what is a linear equation? Well, we know what an equation is now, but with a linear equation, in my equation, the highest power of the pronumeral, that's the very key part, the highest power, so my letter, the letter in the equation, the pronumeral, the highest power has to be 1. So if you see a power in your equation that is higher than 1, it is not a linear equation. And for those of you who have forgotten what a power is, when I have a pronumeral, for example, c, if I raise it and there's a little number above it, if I raise it to that little number there is called the power. Okay, so that's c to the power of 4, or c raised to the power of 4. So this in this little exercise, we're going to circle which of the following are linear equations. Well, I'm looking for a left-hand side and a right-hand side joined by an equal sign. So you might, if you're feeling confident after my explanations, you could pause the video here and try and work out which you would circle. So pause now and then unpause, and you can hear me go through the correct answers. So let's look for, firstly, left-hand sides and right-hand sides joined by an equal sign, or ones that don't have that. Here we definitely don't have a left-hand side and a right-hand side. I don't have that there either. I don't have that over here. And here I've got a right-hand side, but I've got no left-hand side, so that's out. I've got no left-hand side and right-hand side here. Got none there. Now, we didn't talk about what all those expressions that I just crossed out, what are they called when they don't have a left-hand side and a right-hand side? Or what are these called instead if they're not equations? Well, actually, that doesn't fall under the category. But if I highlight the ones that I'm talking about now, what are these all called? They're not equations. They're actually called algebraic expressions. Algebraic expressions. And with an algebraic expression, sometimes you will be asked to simplify an algebraic expression, but you cannot solve an algebraic expression. All right, let's keep going. So now we've left with all the equations. I've got all the equations because everything that's left has a left-hand side and a right-hand side joined by an equal sign. So what I'm going to look for now is the highest power in the equation has to be 1. So I'm going to cross out any that has a power higher than 1. Here's 1. There's a power of 3. That's not linear. Here's one with a power of 2. That's definitely not linear. So I'll cross that out. That's actually called a quadratic equation because it has a power of 2. And now I think I might be left with the ones that I can circle. I'm going to pick a nice color to circle with. And that's a linear equation because it has a left-hand side and a right-hand side joined by an equal sign. And the power of the pronumeral is 1. Here's another linear equation. Here's another linear equation, a linear equation there, one more here, and there's my very last linear equation. Thank you.